this weekend we all heard what the decision was. And the verdict, I should say. Bad decision, but it was the verdict. And in one of my conversations, I was talking about how we tend to ignore things that are not at our own front doors. You know, that I had been suspicious of the trial anyway because it was in Florida. And I don't know about you, but my cultural knowledge is that Florida is the deep South. And things happen in the 30s, 40s, 50s, on back in the South that was just unthinkable. And other folks just sat in their homes in the North and did nothing. It wasn't until the summer when a Chicago little boy, Emmett Till, visiting his folks in Mississippi, was murdered and nobody held an account for his murder, that the country even started to think about it. And I also said the same thing happened in Nazi Germany. There was years that Hitler went unchecked by the rest of the world. People sat in their homes in other countries. Governments wouldn't do anything or respond to what was happening in Nazi Germany. And this poem that has different versions, and I wanted you to know that it had different versions, so when you hear my version, you won't leave and say, oh, she didn't read it the right way. Because this is my version of the poem. And then I'm going to ask a couple of people to add to the poem. I've added to it over the years. The more I've grown and the more I've seen, I've added to the poem. And the poem starts like this. It says, first they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not Jew. Then they came for the communists, and I did not speak out because I was not communist. Then they came for the civil rights activists, and I did not speak out because I was not a civil rights activist. Then they came for the Panthers, and I did not speak out because I was not a Panther. Then they came for Oscar, and I did not speak out because I was not Oscar. Then they came for the immigrants, and I did not speak out because I was not an immigrant. Now they've come for Trayvon. Will you speak out? What will you say? Who in your lifetime have they come from? And folks sat silently by and watched them take them. Everybody knows the last line, but before I do the last line, I want to hear your then they came for.
Then they came for the disabled, and I did not speak out because I was not disabled.
Anybody else?
Came for the innocent children of Iraq in the name of mass weapons of destruction, and I did not speak out.
And they came for the poor. I did not speak out.
Because I had a nickel in the back. Anybody else?
And they came.
No, go ahead.
In Mexico, nobody speaks because we have 60,000 people killed in Mexico, and nobody speaks out about all these people. I know it's a narco traffic, but nobody speaks out.
Then they came for the high school dropouts, and I did not speak out because I was not a high school dropout. Yes, sir.
Then they came for the drug users, and I did not speak out because I wasn't a drug user.
Then they came for the prostitutes, and I didn't speak out because I wasn't a prostitute.
Anybody else?
They came for the elders, and I did not speak out.
So when you think about it, there's always somebody around us who needs us, who needs our voice, who needs our courage, who needs us because we are who we are. The one thing about fear is that you have to cast it aside no matter how prevalent it is in your life. Otherwise, fear causes paralyzation. And as I conclude this, I just want to read the last line. Everybody knows it, right? Because then they came for me.
Right.
And there was nobody left to speak out for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.